Alright guys, today's project is the new Garmin's perspective mode mount. This mount is for the live scope where you can orient it horizontal so you can see more structure in front of you. So we're going to go ahead and try to get this installed, and hopefully we can get out to the water and see what it does and what's the new perspective mount looks like on the water. So let's first thing we need to do is get this live scope apart first, and I'll show you what comes in the box. Alright guys, this is what's in the box here. We got the actual trolling motor mount here that goes on the trolling motor shaft. We have two mounts that will mount the actual live scope to this mount here. One has a P on it, which will be the port side mount, and one has an S on it, which is the starboard side mount. What that means is, like my trolling motor is hanging off the right side of my boat, so that would be starboard side. So that's the mount I would use. If your trolling motor hung off the left side, that would be the port side mount. You would have to use that one. So we're going to go ahead and use the S side for the starboard side mount. And we got a bag of hardware, screws, nuts, all that kind of stuff, and it does come with a Allen wrench where you can tighten the Allen wrench bolts up. And it's got a little rubber, it's going to be a spacer. If your trolling motor shaft is smaller in size, you would use that spacer to make your mount bracket here tighter on the actual trolling motor shaft. And we have a sticker that will go on the bottom side of the live scope itself here. Once you put it on the bracket, it's going to set up for you can see this actual sticker that you know what mode you're in once that's mounted. And it has the instruction booklets, which you will need that because, like I said, this is a new deal, and hopefully, you know, I can go through this easily enough to show you what needs to be done. And I also have some alcohol here just to wipe down the actual live scope once I go to put this sticker on. So that's what's in the box. Like I said, port side, starboard side. I'm going to use the starboard side. So let's see if we can get everything loose, and that way we can start over from a clean slate. Alright, first thing we want to do is try to get some of these zip ties out the way that's holding the actual cable for the live scope. We're going to need a little slack in this cable here, so I'm just going to cut off a couple. I'm not going to cut too far back. We might not need the ones up here cut. So once we got that loose, we're going to get the actual Allen wrench and loosen the bracket on that before we can get that bracket off. I don't know if those brackets are the same, but for install purposes, we're going to go ahead and take this bracket off. Okay, now that we got the bracket loose, we're going to go ahead and take the live scope off the inside or the outside bracket here. That way we can put it on the new one. Okay, this bottom bracket is the old bracket that came off the original live scope, and this top one is the new one. The only difference I see is here on the top they got an S and a P for starboard and port. So in the instructions, we're going to use those markings, the S and the P. So that's the only difference I see in both mounts. Alright, I forgot one thing, which I didn't actually know it. The bag that the stickers came in, they have two stickers in here. One that says port side, and one is labeled starboard side. So you have to use the sticker for what mount you're going to use. I'm going to use the starboard side mount, so that's the one I'm going to use. But remember that if you're using the port side, make sure you pick the port side. Okay, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and wipe off the actual live scope with some alcohol, so when we install this sticker, it actually sticks on there pretty good. Because like I said, if you've been using yours like I've been using mine over the past year, a little bit over a year and a half, you're gonna get some kind of sludge or residue or something on here. So make sure you try to clean it out the best you can to get that sticker to stick on there as good as it can. So, and make sure it's dry. Okay, just to show you real quickly, this is the one labeled port side. So I just wanted to show you guys, if you was using one that says port side, you would line this, as you can see it's got a cutout in it, you would line the actual top of the sticker to the top of the actual live scope, and it would stick on there like that. But the port side is oriented different, so they want you to line this line up with the bottom side of the actual live scope for it to look something like this. And as you can see, it's got a cutout here for the temperature sensor and a cutout for the actual mount. So we're gonna try to put this on there straight as possible, that way it'll work the way it needs to. So we're just gonna, and this is one of those one stick and you done type deal. So if you put it on there and it's not right, it's gonna be a lot of trouble to get it back off without tearing it up. So make sure you take your time and put it on there the right way, which this is my first time, so hopefully we can get it right the first time and we don't have to call Garmin and get another sticker. So we want to try to line up the actual sensor here and the mount here. Then we got to get the edge on this right. And the wind is blowing. Alright guys, we got it on there. So I'm showing you it can be done. You just got to take your time and get it on there the right way. So I'm just going over it, just trying to make sure every corner is pressed down and ready to go. So now we got that in, we can go ahead and put the mounts on and actually try to get it on the trolling motor itself. Okay, now that we got the sticker on top of the transducer, we can move to actually mounting it to the trolling motor shaft. If you look in the instruction, it says you want to find the center of the trolling motor on this shaft. You want to find the center of the actual trolling motor here and follow it up the shaft where you're going to mount the mount to hold the transducer on. Here on my trolling motor here, shaft here, it's got a line, I guess, where the cover or something that's on this shaft comes together right here, and it's pretty much the center of my trolling motor here. So I'm going to use that. If this line wasn't on yours, you would get a Sharpie and mark the center, how high you're going to put it up from the actual motor. You remember we got the S and the P here, so we're going to line that S up with the actual center line of the shaft here, and we're going to tighten up the actual screws here before we can keep this mount in one spot before it don't move. Okay, now that we got the mount where we want it tightened up and it's installed, we're going to go ahead and get the bracket that holds the transducer to the trolling motor. We're going to go ahead and mount that. Like I said, it's going to go basically like this here. We got the bolt with the metal washer and the little rubber washer on it. And remember, we're going to put the short side to the actual mount. Get that tightened up. you can go ahead and tighten this all the way up. Like I said, they say 2.5 foot-pounds, so it's not gorilla tighten it. Okay, now we're going to bring the transducer over, and right now we got it in, this is going to be the position for the perspective view. We're going to get the other bolt with the metal washer and the rubber grommet, the rubber washer, and install that and tighten that all the way up. And you want to tighten this the same 2.5 foot-pounds. So now we actually got it installed, but like I said, this is just the perspective view. When you want it for the forward and down view, you want to turn it sideways, and that way you will get your forward view. Then if you turn it, that's the forward view. If you turn it down to the next down view, that's a down view. So make sure you remember, this is not going to be this way for the down view and the forward view. It's going to be sideways like this. So then rest we got to do is just put zip ties on our transducer cable here, and we should be done. Alright guys, that should be it. Like I said, it wasn't too bad of an install. Like I said, we still need to get this to the water and see what it actually looks like, but right now everything's installed. The biggest thing is just make sure you have that S mark, if you got it on the starboard side, mount on the center line of the actual trolling motor. So make sure you remember that little groove in the front of this mount here. So other than that, just remember, when you want to, like I said, right now I have it in perspective view, this flat view looking in front of the boat. If you want it back to the down forward view, just turn it sideways and turn the notch here for the down and forward view. So that's the way it looks normally, would be normally. So I think that's about it, guys. I appreciate everybody watching the video, and like I said, this should be a game changer, hopefully, in the way it looks. So I guess the next video we probably put it on the water and see how it actually looks and how it works. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching. Till the next video, we out. Guys, I forgot to add, you're gonna have to update the Garmin unit to be able to use this new perspective mode. So make sure you update your unit before taking it out, and you figure out it's not working because you didn't do the update. Alright, thanks guys.